thank you guys for watching, and I appreciate it. Anybody who's been subscribing, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. That is neat to watch. But I didn't really want to go over the aesthetics of each one because honestly, that is probably going to be a very important factor in your decision as to which one to buy, is whether you like the way it looks or not. And the paint job can determine whether you like the way it looks. So don't judge the way it looks by what I'm showing you. Okay, this is my Losi Mini T 2.0 brushless. And it's pretty much stock still. Have y'all seen the video I did with that? Yeah, that made a huge difference. You won't believe it. I mean, look at that. Okay, this is going to be the comparison video for the bodies that are available. Those are some duplicates. But we're going to do, first we're going to do the stock body. There we go. This is all that's left of the original, so, but you guys know what it looked like when you bought it. Now it looks like that, don't it? Oh, mine does. Anyway, the original body is what I like to call, and these are the clear versions that I painted myself. The original body is what I like to think of as the model. It looks just like its big brother, the 22. It's awesome. It's got great shape, and I'm sure if you drove this like it's supposed to be driven, this would last for years. But if you drive it like it's got that, you end up, scrubbing the back off of it from doing wheelies and everything else. And you'll notice that they're all like that. All these are the stock Losi body. It's really thick polycarbonate, really, really heavy, so it has a tendency to shatter. The tails are mounted, one screw at each corner. Those have a tendency to tear off, but the plastic, the polycarbonate, is really brittle, so you end up shattering it. That goes all the way out and all the way out. That's going to be a bad one when it finally goes. Both corners on the front here. It's the same thing with this one. I just taped this one up on the inside instead of the outside. If you use tape the same color as your paint, you get away with a lot more. But those are the originals. But they look really nice. They're really heavy duty. They're thick, thick plastic. All these injuries are caused by abuse. I blew up the front of it when I hit, I think it was the side of the pressure washer, and the whole front end just exploded. The rest of it just, wheelies, landing on the tail. But you see it's all just worn off. So that's constant abuse, repeated abuse. And then we have, this is the Proline axis. Do not adjust your set. Okay. Paint adhesion has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. This is all me painting it outside in 30 degrees. So, this is the Proline axis. It's a really nice looking front end. I really like it. It flies super well, and you'll notice it is really flexible. It is very soft. It's a very thin, really, really thin polycarbonate. But it flies super well. The aerodynamics on it are great. But it's super light and super flexible. And I did notice when I drove this that I did not experience any damage to the front or rear shock tower or upper shock mounts. Because I think it's because it's so flexible that when it does land wheels up, it absorbs the shock through the cab. Whereas the original body is thick and rigid. If you plow into something on the front, it actually transfers that energy to the back and snaps that rear shock tower sometimes. And with this, it's really, really flexible. And it's ooh, have you guys seen the video for the suspension arm repair? Same one is still here. Yeah, that worked out really awesome. If you hadn't seen it, go look at my other video where I did the repair on the suspension arm. But the Proline body does have a disadvantage. It's very, very thin. It's super light and thin. It flies super well, but it just wears and tears away. You just eat away at it when you drive the way I do. This is a race body. This one is hard, super hard plastic. It's meant to look like its big brother, and it's meant to last a long time. It's a model. It's a model. This one is a race body. It's super light, really flexible, absorbs a lot of shock all at once, and it flies. The flight characteristics on this are very noticeable. You can parachute it if you want to, or you can dive, and it's so soft. The back end almost tucks down in the air, and you can actually, shoot down to the ground. So it will stall really nice. Okay, next one. I'm gonna have to do so much editing to this. This is JConcepts Finisher. This, I would refer to it as a medium thickness wet sand, polycarbonate. It's halfway between the original and the Proline. This one also flies super nice, but I have found that for me, I ground out some of this upper section of the tail, took away some of the surface area on that for a little less nose up. Anyway, but the front end on this, I really like it. This flat area where I've got the decal, the flat area right here, I like that. I want to put my lights in that. I want to mount these in that flat area somehow pointing forward, and I'm going to do that in a video. Yeah, I think headlights right there, that would look good. I'm not going to do it in this body. I'm going to keep this one the way it is. I was going to touch up the paint and stuff before I showed it to everybody, but shoot, this is what we did. I mean, it's 30-degree weather. All these turned out good, but it was like 90 degrees outside when I did those. They were dry in like 15 seconds. This stuff I let dry for, I don't know, 20 minutes. And shot another coat in 20 minutes, shot another coat, and it was 30 degrees outside. But I didn't really want to go over the aesthetics of each one because honestly, that is probably going to be a very important factor in your decision as to which one to buy, is whether you like the way it looks or not. And the paint job can determine whether you like the way it looks. So don't judge the way it looks by what I'm showing you. Now I can show you that the original Losi bodies have these really strong, rigid trusses right here. The Proline has them, but they're much thinner. And the plastic itself is much thinner, so they provide less support in the back. But there again, it's a super light race body. It's really not meant to do what I'm doing with it. And this one, the JConcepts body, it actually has 3 beams in the back. And I thought that was going to be a problem, and it's not. I thought it was going to transfer energy like these and start causing damage again. It hasn't. I also like the fact that they have 4 attaching points. And the next time I have one of these bodies, I think I will do the same thing. When I go to cut the wing out, I'll make sure I leave enough. Because I think these have little tabs that screw on. Don't really know because you can't ground them all. But these 4 mounting points, this thing's got so much power. You hit the gas, it stands up before you know it. You're upside down sliding backwards, and the wing's folded up grinding this way. Or you stand it up and bring it back down, you go the other way, and it smashes out flat, and it's stuttering along the concrete, and you end up tearing it off. This one hasn't broke off. I haven't broke the points off the back either. But it's heavier than the Proline, and I don't know the flight characteristics. I'd say for me, and I'm not a professional driver or anything like that. I'm running this thing around in my backyard. Shoot, what do I know? But I would say the flight characteristics between this one and that one, the Proline and the JConcepts, I believe are comparable. I mean, I'm not going to say they're the same. I say they're comparable. And they can all be adjusted by putting, you can vent anywhere you need to get this thing to fly the way you want it to. And that goes with any of the bodies. So as far as comparing them and which one is better, I'm going to say which one is better for you. Which one is better for what you're doing. If you like your little, mini T, your actual mini T, your mini 22T, then get out there with your original Losi body and do it to it. And you're out there on the carpet or something like that. It's a good, sturdy, heavy, rigid body. If you're in the backyard and you're headed for a tree, you may want to rethink your choice. But it's, like I say, it shatters. They all shatter. It's super thick. So it's meant to last forever, but that's from the abrasion and stuff that it'll last. But Yeah, they are brittle, and they are that's why I call them a model. They look like their big brother. But to me, these are more like a almost toy grade. They're so thick, but it's a model. Uh, the Proline, that's a race body through and through. It's a thoroughbred in my opinion. It's super light. It's as thin as you can get. It's designed with the low beams in the back that actually give it a spring action in the body that absorbs some of the impact from the front and upside down. When your wheels up, uh, you'll notice that you don't snap shock towers as much, and on front impacts you won't snap shock towers as much. Uh, it's nowhere near as brittle as any of the other bodies. It's so squishy and flexible, but it's really thin. You can burn right through it. Scrubbing upside down on this thing burns right through it, but it flies really well, and it looks nice. That's what I liked about it. Was just plain old dadgummit. That's a nice looking truck. Okay, and then the JConcepts. I don't know. I don't race, so I can't tell you if that's a race body because it's heavier than the Proline body. I don't know if that's a plus or a minus, but as far as durability and longevity, life, you can see the difference. These shatter, explode, and scrub away, and this one is just thin. It just can't take it, and this one seems to be a nice happy medium. But there again, you gotta like the way it looks too, which I do. I think the front end, like I said, I'm putting the headlights right there. So I would say this is middle of the road. I think it's a good multi-purpose body. If you're on the carpet or I don't know what they race these things on. I try and watch live RC whenever I can, but I don't see a lot of mini T action on it. Uh, but if you race these things, I'm gonna say if weight is an issue and being that the body is up high, I guess weight could be an issue in handling. You gotta have it light up top. I would say the Proline is probably going to be your best bet because it flies just as well. I think you can manipulate or do modifications to both bodies to make them fly the way you need them to anyway. If that's allowed, I don't know. I do this stuff in my backyard. I'm allowed to do whatever I want. I can I can make them fast or slow, and I can make them glide like a parachute. So yeah, the choice is yours. I'm gonna say you're probably gonna buy the one that looks good. So at least this way you know what to expect. This is a good, sturdy, middle of the road body that seems to hold up to the kind of crap we do. Uh, this one, the original body, the model body, is meant to look really good. I mean, that's a show body. It's really, really nice. And a replica of its big brother and all. And then this one is, I would say, a thoroughbred race body. I think if every little ounce counts and all that kind of stuff, that's a good body. And if you're bashing like me, I bought that one because it looks good. So this is what it ends up looking like. But honestly, for the price, you can't beat it. Remember, it took me like 3 months to do that, and we're going across concrete, mud, roots, cinder blocks, and there's a pine tree out back that has bought me several suspension arms. Yes, sir. We have a pine tree that has a magnet inside of it and draws all the remote control trucks straight for it. So this is the winner on durability. This is the winner in race speed, simply because of the lightness and the aerodynamics. It will tuck tail. I mean, when you're in the air, you can stall it and drop it like a rock. And then this one, the original Losi bodies those are going to be your model type replica, I guess. I don't know. There you go. That's my opinion. I like them all because I like the way they look. And I'm digging this one for now because I haven't destroyed it yet. And so far it hasn't let me down on the shock towers. I'm going to also assume that I'm doing less damage to them because I drive better. But I have to tell you, I edit out so many impacts that I don't think that's true. I mean, you can look at the abrasion over the paint where you can see I've done it. There's no doubt about it. This one's been through it. But it's just not shattering. It's flexible enough. but it's not grinding away like the thin bodies. But anyway, that's a 15-minute video. I'm going to have to edit, so thank you guys for watching, and I appreciate it. Anybody who's been subscribing, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. That is neat to watch. But anyway, have fun.